Hello there, and welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga Show with your host, Agostinho Zinga, and this is episode number 867. That is 867 of the Agostinho Zinga Show. There's Ocho Seis Siete, I think, coming at you live and direct from the undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of London. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Today's been an interesting day of revelation. Today's been an interesting day of eyes being open. Today's been an interesting day of eyesight. And today's been an interesting day of realizing I don't know anything. I'm absolutely redacted. Why do I say that? In the previous episode, which was 866, hope you've listened to that prior, I mentioned the case against A$AP Rocky concerning the shooting that occurred between himself and one of the OG members of A$AP Mob, A$AP Relli. A$AP Relli is alleging A$AP Rocky shot him during an altercation. The shooting itself is a little bit dubious because it looks like it was grazed on his knuckles, but I've now learned due to my, following of the Megan Thee Stallion v Tory Lanez case that in America, if a bit of shrapnel hits you or a bullet hits you, that still counts as getting shot. In my head, I always assumed being shot by a gun meant the bullet passed through flesh, but I guess in this case, any shrapnel relating from the gun shooting hits you, then you got shot. So he got shot. The bullet grazed his knuckles. Thankfully, it didn't crack and blow off his whole hand. And now he's taken A$AP Rocky, his close friend. And I've also learned during the trial that A$AP Relli and A$AP Rocky knew each other since they were 15, and they're now both 36 or something. So it's 20 plus years of friendship. And they got into one scuffle. For some reason, Rocky thought he needed to bring a gun. He allegedly fired the gun, hit Relli in the fingers, or grazed his fingers, and now Relli is basically taken him to court, and he's now facing 24 years in prison, especially after Rocky rejected a plea deal, which would have had him sit down for a couple of months. I suggested in the last podcast that I couldn't understand why Rocky would turn down a plea deal. The plea deal sounded good, although it would maybe have him having to confess or take responsibility for one of the more serious offenses that he's been charged with. It would still mean he would be out to see his kids. He'll be out to hang out with Rihanna. He'll be out to continue with his career in about 6 months, if not less than that. I think I heard Wack 100, who's like, a road guy who knows more about prison stuff than I do. He even mentioned that he thinks if Rocky did take the plea deal, he wouldn't spend more than 2 months in prison due to good behavior and whatnot. And obviously having good lawyers. But he rejected the plea deal. And I remember saying at the end of the podcast, I remember actually saying that maybe Rocky knows something that we don't. Maybe Rocky knows something that we don't. Well, now we know Rocky definitely does know something that we don't, because A$AP Relli took the stand today, and the prosecution, which is obviously A$AP Rocky's team, I think that's the prosecution, right? The prosecution of A$AP Rocky's team had a chance to grill Relli on the stage. And let me just tell you, the grilling wasn't even that intense. I don't think so. Just prodding and probing questions and going over A$AP Relli's testimony, and he's already crumbling. A$AP Relli is already crumbling on the stand with just a couple of gentle prods and pokes from Rocky's lawyer, and A$AP Relli is already crumbling, and it's now looking like the tide in this whole trial has been shifted in the favor of Rocky, and I'm thinking most likely he might get off on this. A$AP Rocky might get off on this case that looked like it was stonewalled, because as Tony Ayo mentioned, other people have mentioned, it's very rare do you see a case where somebody that survives a shooting says somebody shot them and the perpetrator doesn't go to prison. It doesn't really happen, because you said you shot them, you survived. Usually, more often than not, that person goes to jail. Well, in this particular case, I think Relli might have absolutely effed his chances of being successful in this trial, because his whole story, his whole point is crumbling under just the slightest of pressure from A$AP Rocky's lawyer. I'm going to play a clip from the actual trial that happened. This, I guess the third day, I don't know what day it is, but essentially Rocky's lawyer is grilling A$AP Relli on the stand, and A$AP Relli is crumbling. He's stuttering, he's needing clarification, and he's looking really, most importantly, dumb and very, he's looking like he bear a grudge for a long time, and he took advantage of the situation to try and get money out of Rocky. So let me play the clip for you, because it's not looking good for Relli. It really isn't looking good for Relli out here. Here's a clip right now.
That truthful testimony.
Truthful, can you explain the question again? I don't know what I'm saying. Yes or no to. I got
Did you just see yourself?
No, but you're not explaining the question.
Here's my question.
I see myself, but you're not explaining. So what I'm supposed to say is just no to.
So as you can hear, Relli's being very argumentative, very obtuse, very defensive, and curt with the lawyer. And the lawyer's not saying anything. He's just telling him to repeat what he said in the test, to basically re-emphasize what he already said in a prior testimony, preliminary one that they had prior, iron out some details, obviously in the hopes of catching him out, but it's not even that deep. And Relli's getting very defensive and having this weird tit for tat sort of like quarrel with A$AP Rocky's lawyer. Understand? It's flipping crazy to watch this in real time.
Did you see yourself? Did you see yourself?
I see myself.
Did you hear yourself?
I heard myself.
Was that truthful?
What's truthful?
What you just said.
That I love him or like we was cool? I don't know what you mean. I said a lot of things.
The part that you said, if I said, fuck you, it was sort of wishy-washy with love, you know? That part.
Okay, it's true. True.
Yeah. In fact, on September 18th, 2021, at 8:19 a.m., you text Rocky, fuck everything about you, fake ass gay nigga. Right?
Of course not.
Of course not? Okay. I'm going to show you a text message now.
Jesus Christ.
Take a look for a second.
Of course not. There's a text
Yes.
message.
Really?
Hold on. This is the defense. See, Susan Charlie.
September 18th, 2021, 8:19 a.m. No matter how much the nigga tried, you not charge that nigga. Change it. Fuck everything about you, you fake ass nigga. I dead hate you. Sucker ass guy nigga, then you change guy to gay. Remember sending that message?
Jesus
This
Christ.
is in 21.
I understand. Everything we're talking about here today is in 21. Every text message he showed you yesterday was in 21.
Yeah, but you asked me now, do I remember? You're not showing me nothing else that came into the text message, so I probably did write that. Is that for me?
That's for me.
Okay, that's cool.
That's cool. Okay. So it's
Oh, Relli's looking absolutely crazy. And if you're wondering what's going on, just listening to this, Relli basically disputed that he said what the lawyer said. The lawyer basically said that he called, Rocky some names over the phone. Essentially, what Rocky's lawyer is trying to prove was that Relli was provoking, probing, or antagonizing Rocky to the point that would drive him to shoot him or get in a confrontation. That it wasn't just some ambush. That they were clearly on some bad terms, and it was going to, resolve or result in some sort of physical altercation. And Relli, for his defense, is trying to make it seem like he was a poor innocent lamb that just got ambushed by his friends. Obviously, in these type of cases, the truth is somewhere in the middle. But the way Relli is reacting and responding to this lawyer makes me think that he was lying, because he's very defensive. And if one of the easy tells of somebody when they're lying, especially, or one of the easy tells is when when you're fighting somebody, and this is a bad example, but if you're fighting somebody and they're getting really shouty, they're kind of getting very vocal, they're waving their arms in the air, usually it's a tell that they're scared to fight. They maybe don't know how to fight, or they're scared to fight. Usually somebody that knows how to fight is usually very calm, cool, and collected, and usually somebody that is telling the truth doesn't get easily rattled. When someone's telling the truth, they only get rattled. If someone's telling the truth, they only get really rattled when you accuse them of lying. That's when they might get really rattled and get really emotional about being branded a liar, and they're going to try their best to make sure you believe that they're not a liar by emphasizing the facts and repeating the facts and not deviating from the facts. Whereas Relli's getting really, he's nitpicking at what the lawyer is saying. And I watched a part of this. I was listening to it in the background while I was kind of working out and shit. And I heard Relli basically saying, every time that Rocky's lawyer would ask him a question pertaining to this case, A$AP Relli would ask, hey, I don't understand. Could you repeat that again? I don't understand. Could you repeat that again? I'm not sure. I don't recall. I'm not sure. I don't recall. I'm not sure. I don't recall. To the point where I was thinking, you know what? Forget calling him A$AP Telly, which is what the social media's called him now, right? He's gotten his new nickname now on Twitter is A$AP Telly. Don't call him A$AP Telly. You should call him A$AP I don't recall, because that's all he keeps saying. I don't recall. I don't recall. I don't recall. But then in certain parts that are advantageous to him, suddenly he remembers what happens. So, and even the lawyer getting really angry, saying, "Oh, this is pertaining to 21. How would I remember?" And he's like, "This whole case is pertaining to an incident that happened in 2021. Like, if you don't remember this, then why are we even here?" Do you know what I mean? So Relli is coming across really, really weird, and it's making me think maybe Rocky did know something that we didn't. Maybe what Rocky knew was that his boy is a fucking idiot. Not to be offensive or anything, but even Relli comes across a bit slow. Not too sure if it's because of nerves, but I swear to God, he comes across a bit slow on the stand. He comes across a bit slow, or at least he might be a little bit like, low IQ. He definitely does come across that way, because it's like there's certain parts where it seems like he can't even read. Like he's like really stalling to read the texts. He has to ask for a clarification on the question 2 or 3 times. He doesn't seem to comprehend the really simple questions pertaining to this case. It's not like they're asking him like really crazy questions in legalese. They're asking him facts or events that may have happened in this case to him to clarify certain things or to go over what he said prior, and he's really struggling to do it. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this case even got to trial. I don't know how Relli got on the stand without being prepped. I don't know which kind of lawyers he has, but it's looking kind of wild. And it's also telling you, like, this is what money buys. Because on the surface, it seemed like Rocky was banged to rights. He was going to be found guilty and everything was going to go not his way. But now we see what the benefits of money does. The benefits of money afford you a lawyer like the one he has now, who, even though this case looks like it's not like a winnable case for Rocky, Rocky's lawyer was able to kind of figure out a way to kind of spin it and kind of, make it look a certain way. And obviously, as soon as Relli got on the stand, he probably thought, you know what, this is easy work. And he has been going at him. It's been a constant fight between Relli and Rocky's lawyer. And so far, I think Rocky's lawyer is winning. I don't think the jury are going to respond too well to Relli. But maybe they'll still think, the main point of the case is that, do they think Rocky shot him, or yes or no? But the way Relli is on the stand, I don't think he's really helping his case at all. He really is not helping his case. So maybe, again, this is another example I said in the beginning of me not knowing what I'm talking about, because I think Rocky knows his friends way better than what we do. And he knew this guy was like this. I think he had a feeling that this guy is a little bit all over the place. He had a feeling that this guy probably doesn't have the composure necessary to be on the stand, isn't maybe the smartest guy, isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. And he risked going to trial because he knew there was a chance he could get off, because this guy's not coming across well at all, man. But it's still, point remains, man. Point remains for me. It's still very sad to see two former friends, because that's what you find out when you listen to this trial. A$AP Relli and A$AP Rocky knew each other since high school. They've been friends since they were like 16, 17, bro. They started A$AP Mob together. A$AP Yams, Bari, Ills, original crew. And it came to this, It's not necessary. It didn't need to go this far. It's really sad to see, like, and I was thinking earlier today, like, because I remember I spoke about this on the Random show, about how friendship breakups are probably worse emotionally than relationship breakups. And I think this is a good example, because I don't think an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend will do this to you, or an ex-wife or husband. I don't think so. I think only an ex-friend could legitimately potentially kill you, or could potentially take you to court in the hopes of getting you locked up and taken away from your kids and shit. Because that's the main thing, right? If Rocky goes, he's not gonna be fucked up financially. He's married to Rihanna. He's got his own money. He's not gonna suffer that way. But he's gonna be away from his kids for a very long time. And you, as a friend, to do that to your former friend is crazy. But I think only a friend could do that. Only a friend that loved you could also hate you that much to want you to want to see you rot in jail or rot in prison for something that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, because we saw the injuries that Relli had, and yes, maybe there was some emotional injuries there that we don't know about, PTSD, but from what we saw in the pictures, it didn't look like he was injured that badly. They could have easily sorted it out. Even before the shooting, they could have sorted out some sort of fair squabble that would have meant whoever kind of, whatever happened at the end, you shake hands and go your separate ways. You don't have to be friends forever. But for it to get to a gun situation is crazy. But I guess in this situation, you can't have to blame Rocky, really. You have to blame Rocky for taking the gun with him in the first place. Whether it's a prop gun or a real gun, taking a gun to go meet up a friend that you don't have, that you're not really seeing eye to eye with, is very extreme. It's very, very, very extreme. And one thing I've learned about, following American culture, especially with this podcast I have in streams and stuff, is that a lot of people have said in the stream chat that one of the first rules about having a gun is that you should never pull a gun out unless you intend to use it. That's one of the first rules about having a gun. Gun safety rules are like, hey, if you have this thing, don't pull it out unless you intend to use it. So having a gun as an intimidation tactic, scare tactic doesn't work for me. And, you know, this is the situation that we're in. But it is kind of sad to see two former friends fall out the way that they have fallen out. But I have to be honest, AP Relli is not looking good in this situation in the slightest. AP Relli is not looking good in this situation in the slightest. I swear it. I absolutely swear it. Anyways, continuing on. Let's talk a little bit about Represent. Represent is launching some women's wear. I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with Represent's clothing. They've been absolutely killing it here in the UK, killing it internationally, and just doing bits, you know, slowly but surely. When they first started, I wasn't the biggest fan of their clothing. I'm not going to lie. I thought it would kind of looked a little bit too much like a Fear of God, a Mary copy, you know, sort of an extension of, you know, Hedy Slimane at Saint Laurent with a sprinkling of Rick Owens, and I forgot who that American guy is I'm thinking of. But in general, it felt like it was a little bit too much of other people's brands all kind of smudged into one. But as per usual, when it comes to brands, I think it's kind of like what happens when you start. You start off maybe copying one person, and then through the process of copying 1, 2, 3, 4 brands, you maybe along the way found your own voice. And I feel like now, even without seeing the big R, the big kind of italic R that they have as a logo, I think you can instantly recognize a Represent piece of clothing from afar, more so than any other time now, because of how long they've been in the game, refining what they do. But I never thought they needed women's wear. I'm not gonna lie. I never thought women's wear was a really important part of their business. Obviously it's two twin guys that kind of run it, two lads. I think they're from Manchester. It's a very for lack of a better term, he has a very sorry, macho vibe about the brand. It's very hetero as well. So I never really thought it kind of needed a female women's kind of slant. But I guess when you're growing and expanding your business, you just have to kind of expand your product range. So one of the best ways to expand it is to open up a completely, you know, different sort of avenue by having women's wear. So I'm curious to see what they do with the women's wear, because one of the things that I dislike about streetwear brands sometimes is that they limit themselves to only doing women's wear by just taking the men's styles and making them in smaller sizes. I would prefer to see an actual women's wear done properly, where it's a completely different sort of, you know, silhouette, different pieces. And even if some men want to buy those pieces and wear them, fair enough. But I don't like let's just take the men pieces and make it smaller, which is why I usually prefer it when the women's wear is designed by a separate person. It doesn't have to be a woman, but a different person who has like a different vision for that sort of stuff. I can obviously design it within the codes. A good example will be Noah. Noah is run by obviously Brendan Babsian, and he does the menswear. And if I'm not mistaken, his wife is the one that does the women's wear. So you got like an alternative vision. Even with Kiko, Kiko Kostadinov, right? Kiko Kostadinov, whatever his fucking name is, right? He does the men's ready to wear, and then the two girls who I think are his friends, they run the women's wear stuff. So I like how that kind of gets split. So I'm wondering how the Represent boys are going to approach women's wear, because I'm curious to see if they have the chops to obviously design for men and women across, or if they're going to hire somebody separately to run the women's wear thing. So anyway, all that blabber to say, there's an article courtesy of Vogue Business that sort of touches on this, which I'm going to read now. The title is Represent is launching women's wear, here's why. So we've got a little sneak peek of what their women's wear would look like vis-a-vis this picture in the header. You've got a nice crop jacket bomber. The layering I don't really like, I'm not going to lie. I don't like the styling of the layering, but I like the jeans with the kitten heels. I'm not too mad at them. And I also like the chambray shirt, but I think the layering and the styling is a bit too much. You've got a crop jacket on top of a jean shirt, a chambray, I guess you'd call them. You've also got a funnel neck zip up that's got 2 zips going to the bottom and the top. And then you've also got like a bra top the woman's wearing underneath. But I think there's a bit too much going on there in terms of styling. But let's continue. The article starts as follows. Manchester-born Represent, revered for its take on the contemporary streetwear and luxury craftsmanship, is now venturing into the uncharted territory, women's wear. Launching women's wear is something we've been toying with for 5 years, trying to determine the perfect moment, says co-founder George Heaton, speaking on Zoom from his LA home. The truth is, there's never been a perfect moment, but with the brand growing significantly over the past few years, the timing felt right. Represents meteoric rise is hard to ignore. Last June, it was named the 68th fastest growing company in the UK by the Sunday Times, which is fucking crazy. A streetwear brand being the 60th greatest is fucking wild. So big up them. That's fucking amazing to see. Reporting a compound annual growth rate, GAR, of 81.4% since 2020. In 2023, annual turnover hit 81 million, with 2024 turnover forecast to be 100 million. According to the brand, it's yet to release 2024 earnings. God damn it, they are making cash. What's most intriguing though is around 20% of their customer base is now women. Wow, I did not know that. I wonder if it's women who are buying for their fellas or if it's women actually wearing their pieces. That's interesting, isn't it? To be honest, their shapes aren't as like, maybe their shapes aren't as like gargantuan or maybe like masculine, maybe as like a Matthew Buxton. Is that, or no, is it Buxton? Yeah, that brand. Because I think they're kind of like similar in terms of competition and shit. Maybe. I'm curious to know what pieces they're buying actually. A lot of them are likely buying for their husbands or boyfriends, but we've seen a growing demand, especially in our social media DMs, for a women's wear line. Continues Heaton. That's really cool though. I like that they're responding directly to what people want. So they're getting DMs from women who are saying, hey, we want more women's clothing or options, and they're directly responding to that. That's really good, to be fair. So I'm eager to see how that works out. I like when brands listen to their customers and not just ignore them. Plus, our strategic partners such as Selfridges, Harvey Nichols, and Flannels have constantly been requesting to do women's. Okay, that's the real reason, isn't it? Big up Paul Spencer, the brand CEO. Okay, cool. That's the real reason. This is like the nice reason to make everybody feel nice and fluffy inside. But the real reason is the money men. The buyers and the retail stores, the retail partners are the ones that have been saying, hey, give us women's wear. There's a demand there for it. Trust me, we can sell some units. We can shift these bricks. Just get them here. Get these bricks here and we can fucking shift them. Okay, love to see it. There's a picture there. Who's that featuring? Tony Pudi, and I don't know who's Tony Pudi. Is that the women's wear designer? George and his brother Michael, formerly established Represent as a limited company in 2014, following 3 years operating from their dad's garden shed. Today it's stocked by 150 retailers in the UK. That's fucking sick. I hope they've got a picture of that, by the way. I hope they have a picture of them working in their dad's garden shed, screen printing, iron on t-shirts and shit. That'd be pretty sick to show as the growth. It'll be like that iconic image of like Jeff Bezos in that one office with the Amazon fucking banner behind him. That'd be sick to show like where the brands come. Today it's stocked in 150 retail stores in the UK, as well as several in the United States and across Europe. Last October, Represent unveiled its first UK flagship in Manchester, a sleek 5,419 square foot space that showcases not just their menswear collection, but also a burgeoning categories like footwear. Represent 24/7, the brand's performance wear line, currently the fastest growing part of the business. With the London flagship on the horizon and upcoming pop-up plans in LA and Dubai, the brand is perfectly poised to embark on this new venture. That is fucking sick. One thing I rate about them is their ability, or is what I feel like they've been stuck in the UK. Them being a UK first brand. Like I rate that a lot, because people in the UK, if you don't live here, you won't know how much people hate. We're the home of haters. We're the home of fucking bad vibes. So the fact that they have a fan base, they have a really big collective, a really big customer base. They've kind of made their name here, and then they've taken that aesthetic, that style, that brand, and kind of taken it worldwide and preached the gospel of Represent to the world. Is fucking sick. Because the easiest option could have been to go and start growing a brand in America, because Americans will easily get this brand because they, would identify this aesthetic. But to start off in the UK and have 150 retailers is a big deal, man. We have huge ambition to be the significant global player, and launching women's wear is a natural progression towards this. The birth of Represent Women. Represents graphic tees, hoodies, and denim inspired by rock music and LA skate culture are cult classics to its loyal fan base. It's thanks to a distinctive niche they've carved out in the market. People aren't willing to spend ridiculous amounts on luxury, but they will still want to shop for high quality products that last a lifetime. That's where Represent has always lived, and we're bringing that same ethos to women's wear. Yeah, you see that a lot with kids. Like whenever I see pictures of kids in like festivals or going to Ibiza and shit, that's where it's a good example of like the stuff that they rate. And the guys and girls you see wearing Represent t-shirts, like they're wearing those things that they fucking suits. They feel really proud. You can see it sits on their body really right. Like that's a major piece in their collection. So you'd imagine, being able to do something like that is a big fucking achievement. Having people identify basically see themselves in your t-shirts in that way, and trust to take those things to a holiday, to a festival, and just have that as their main top they're wearing throughout the day for their outfit. That's a big fucking deal. But how does the brand, rooted in elevated menswear, make the leap into women's wear? The more importantly, who is represents women? For that answer, the brand tapped former designer of Topshop, Tony Prudy. Okay, nice. I like that Topshop designer because Topshop had some good stuff back in the day. Her vision combined with the all-female team of designers with backgrounds at Stella McCartney, Acne Studios in Burberry and Topshop has been fundamental in shaping the collection. That's fucking cool. I love that. So it's not even them designing. It's not even the brothers designing it. It's going to be led by this former Topshop designer and an all-female team of designers. Okay, I like this. I like this. I like this. Represent Women is not about being frilly or overly feminine. Nor is she looking for basics. It's about finding the edge, the balance between masculine and feminine, explains Prudy. She's kind of person who values sustainability, longevity, wearing the same pieces multiple times and styling it in different ways. Our pieces are versatile by day, by night, or even at the gym. I don't like the sustainability word. I think that's just a buzzword, to be fair. So I would scrap the sustainability word. Just say longevity. You know, that would be a good word to use in terms of, oh, you can bang out this cable knit, you can smash this cardigan, you can smash this skirt, these pairs of shorts, this vest top, as opposed to sustainability. That just sounds a bit naff to me. But hey, we continue. Resulting core pieces dubbed everyday icons include black leather bomber jackets, matching elasticated trousers, grey jersey dresses with ruched knot finishes, and asymmetrical skirt hem. The logoless dotted rhinestone ecru hoodies, which are designed to be a kind of clothing that keep people noticed. When you're out, they'll ask, where did you get that? Because it's got that something extra about it. Oh, I love that. Okay, cool. I like that. Like, again, that layering I don't like. There's too much layering going there for me. But in general, the pieces do look, you know, quite good quality from this little picture that I have here. The design process began with what matters most, fabric. Fabric is what starting point. We invested in high quality, sustainable materials to create pieces that feel luxurious and yet attainable. From the buttery leathers to the soft draping cottons and manufactured in Portugal, Italy, Mauritius and Turkey, materials reflect represents commitment to creating enduring pieces. So nothing made in China, nice. It's not like we tested women's wear for years and handed Tony a strict brief. Heaton says we gave her full creative control to define who represents women is, and we're building her up from there. It's marked departure from the past. Men and women don't compete with each other. They sit alongside each other, says Heaton on the evolution. I always describe it as yin and yang. They borrow elements from each other, necessarily joined at the hip. They can live separately if they can live together. This follows a playbook of several luxury brands. For emerging players like Kiko, like I said earlier, and Dior that run their men's labels, distinct brands with two different identities. I like what they're saying here. The only thing I have issue with, why are the boys talking and why is this woman talking more? You know, this is probably will be a good chance for her to really introduce herself and really start waxing lyrical about the process and what went into it. I feel like there's too much of the guys talking and not enough of the woman talking, or the people that are involved in actually creating it. That would have made more sense of it. But I guess it's a Vogue piece for the business. It's a big look, so they went to get their heads in there as well. I understand, but I think, you know, it would have been nicer to hear more from Tony in terms of what went into making this women's wear line or subdivision they're doing now. What world does Represent Women inhibit? If Represent is an ecosystem, then George and Michael are the center of it. With a combined Instagram following of 360,000 built alongside their brand, the brothers have become a walking ambassadors for their own creations, exclusively wearing representing every social media post. The aspirational yet grounded image, whether luxury vacations or boardrooms or leading fitness challenges, offers a lifestyle that embodies the brand's ethos. Yeah, that's a really good point, to be fair, that the writer kind of pointed, because I've seen this trend of these, like, for lack of a better term, these really fit, good-looking white guys have started trends now. I don't know. There's like one in New York, this guy that runs. These two brothers who do CrossFit and run a bunch. Obviously, the guys from Buxton do the same thing. There's like a trend of these type of lads that all start in brands. So it's like lads designing for lads, which I really love, right? But I feel like Represent do a good job of like being quite grounded. I feel like Buxton and the other ones are probably a little bit too rich. I feel like the Represent boys do a good job of like branding or showcasing their lifestyle without coming across as wankers, without coming across as like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. It kind of just feels natural. So it kind of feels like something, if you're into this sort of brand, you're into that sort of life, you're into that sort of ecosystem, you could aspire to be like those kind of guys because they're doing stuff that you could probably do. They're at Runyon Canyon, they're competing in some fucking 10K and some half marathon, they're going to this nice restaurant. It's not super, super heady. It's not super out of touch. It's within reach, but it's still aspirational enough for you to want to be associated with the brand and wear the brand and feel like you're a part of the club. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they do a really good job of doing that, and I have to give them credit because they wear their own garms. I fucking detest. I know they keep calling them menswear, but I kind of see them more of a streetwear brand. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Menswear, streetwear, it's all in the same. I detest these brands, these new streetwear brand owners nowadays who like don't wear their own garms, who act like they're too good to wear their own garms or whatever, or they're kind of over it or have this kind of weird, you know, apathy to their own brand. Be the ambassador for your own brand. You don't need influencers. You need yourself. Wear your own. No one wears your own clothes better than you do because you're the ones that fucking make it. So I like that they wear their own garms. They wear their stuff. They're always dripped out in fucking represent from head to toe, and they sell it really well. And then people want to obviously follow and buy that shit because they think they look cool. I love that about them, to be fair. While this alignment between personal branding and brand ethos has been the key to represent success thus far, it's something that Heaton Brothers won't be able to replicate as it's easily with women's wear. It's put a question mark over how to engage with influencers. Oh, that's a good point. And celebrity talent moving forward. We've never shot a campaign with a big face, and that's something we will consider for women's wear, says Heaton, who adds that they ultimately decided not to. We want to let the product speak for itself rather than face speak for the product. So we're going to take that strategy for the first year. He concedes that might change in spring, summer 2026. Yeah, I think they should avoid it. I think if anything, maybe they should seed somebody. Maybe they should find someone who maybe clicks with the brand, who looks good in their stuff, and get that person to wear their stuff exclusively for like 6 to 12 months. Or in the process of launching it, maybe find somebody who looks cool and then push that person to be the unofficial face of it. But I don't think they should have campaigns selling it that way. I think there should be someone that you would always kind of associate with a brand, who you might like as an influencer, and then people would follow that person for kind of updates on what's going on and shit, and they could act like an unofficial official ambassador sort of thing. I think that would probably work out better for what they do. From its early, like, you know, seeing fucking, I don't know, Bella Hadid wear the stuff wouldn't really sell it. I don't think it doesn't work that way. I think it needs to be a little bit more grounded, a bit more real. From its earlier days, Represent has strived to be cultivating a loyal grassroots following, whether through social media and intimate pop-ups or the community-driven events, like the run clubs. Tied to its Represent 24/7 line, the brand has consistently focused on connecting with its audience in a meaningful, tactile way. The same approach will guide the women's wear launch. We'll take the same strategy that worked for menswear, organic and authentic. A lot of women already engage Represent through pop-ups and run clubs and social media, so it's about expanding that to speak to them directly. I like that. I like that. Speak to your customers, speak to what they want. If your girls like wearing fucking white socks over their leggings, drinking matcha, you know, doing fucking hot girl workouts, going on fucking walks, you know, whatever, reading, taking notes, making mood boards, talk to those girls instead of trying to create something, some other, you know, avatar who your girl is. Key partnership events including Selfridges pop-up on the 10th of February, and an LA activation will serve as a launch pad for the up-and-coming line. These events will give us a clearer picture of who Represent Women is and how she interacts with the collection. This is all about learning as we go. We're not coming in with preconceptions. We're letting the product and the consumers guide us. For their Selfridges activation, the women's collection will take over the key spot at the third floor of the London store, with the shop-in-shop space showcasing the collection of its core sweats and tees, as well as the outwear and versatile separates. Seeing British brands like Represent build from the ground up and then be able to work with them on scale, the business exciting and real priority for Selfridges. Yeah, I bet it is, motherfucker. Women's wear is the right next step. Represent has a hyper engaged community and offer response to what our customer wants to see. Yeah, I bet that Selfridges up north, they must fucking sell a lot of fucking Represent over there. As for the next expected accessories, perfume in the near future, nice. The 24/7 women's line set to launch soon. There's huge potential for footwear and bags. We're just getting started. We're in this for the long game. We're focusing on slow, steady growth with sustainability and longevity in the forefront. We're not here for churn out trends or burn through pieces that stand the test of time. We represent to be a legacy brand, one that outlives the founders. Oh, I love that. Women's wear is the next chapter to build that legacy. This is famous last words though, because I've got a feeling they're making so much money, someone's gonna come at them with an offer they can't turn down. I feel like this is famous last words. I feel like we're gonna hear soon that they've been bought out by fucking LVMH. Do you know what I mean? Like, which is obviously still good because legacy continues and outlives you. But these are famous last words because they are making money. So let's see. But really good so far. Can't to see what the women's wear ends up looking like when it does eventually launch. So big up Represent, big up Blood Clot Represent. Talk about representing. Let's talk about J Tips. Big up J Tips. I love what J Tips has been doing with Saucony. I think he's got 2 shoes he dropped with Saucony so far. This I think is the third. Is it? I think it might be the third if I'm not mistaken. This one is the Jazz 9 collaboration, and I've got to be honest, This might be my favorite colorway so far from the J-Tips Saucony collaboration so far. This might be my favorite one. If you're not seeing the screen, the Saucony Jazz 9 collaboration that J-Tips done is a mixture of blue, grays, yellows, oranges, pinks. I especially love this middle section here. This pink midsole, this super bright magenta pink midsole that extends up until the middle section of this shoe. It kind of makes the whole thing look a lot more chunky and a lot more, you know, weighty and whatever than it actually probably is. I bet you it probably feels way lighter than when it looks in the hand. But I like how it gives it this kind of almost like a Mitre era New Balances from back in the day. I remember I had those before. I forgot the name of them, the actual New Balance mark. I think it might have been an M583 or something like that. But it kind of gives it a really big, weighty sort of feel. And it's got this really nice mixture of obviously leathers. You've got different meshes here, maybe on two. I think there's two different meshes here, or just two different colors. You've got a little bit of nubuck here. I think this might be a bit of suede or 3M, I'm not too sure. And obviously some nice little tags here that you can clip onto the laces, like this butterfly iconography here on the side in terms of a logo. And then of course you got the Saucony logo here on the side and some nice iconography and text on the back of the heel too. So for me, this might be one of my favorite colorways, which I'm actually going to try to get. I don't really try to get them. I love the thing at the description at the back. I love you, but I'm busy. Written down the back. With a nice 3M cup here on the heel cup as well, and then you've got also a black outsole as well on that particular shoe. Is there a date for their release? Not yet. Release date is available, but this is the blurb courtesy of Hypebeast. John, J-Tips, Cotton, and Saucony are coming off the banner 2024 thanks to two collaborative colorways of the Matrix silhouette and of course the Pro Grid Omni to-do list, a silhouette that garnered serious sneaker of the year conversation. They're not taking a foot off the gear in 2025 as J-Tips revealed a new Jazz 9 collaboration via a post on his Instagram. Tips and Saucony are almost half a dozen collabs deep, and their firmly established visual language, bright, bold, and colorful, is continued here. Neon tone shades of pink, orange, and blue, and a carabiner that holds a multicolored flower is attached to the left of the shoe's laces. Okay, cool. So I guess if you wanted, you could probably clip that to laces if you wanted to make it hang a bit better. The key detail, however, is seen across the heels. I love you, but I'm busy. Though Chips has yet to share the theme of the collaborative release, there's a good chance it's a salute to his busy lifestyle. The aforementioned to-do list, for example, was a designed to be a perfect shoe to wear while checking off tasks on one's to-do list. A release date and price information yet to be revealed. So no date on the reveal yet. No date so far on the release. No idea on the price so far, but definitely something that I'm going to try and purchase. Really do like, again, the silhouette. I love the shape. I love the application of colors all over them. I love that it's a bit leery but doesn't look super crazy. He somehow made a way to kind of balance it all out. Maybe it's the addition of the two blues. So you've got this blue, this kind of royal blue that runs around the toe box and around here in the front of the toe, and is broken up by a bit of gray. And then they've got a bit of the toe, a bit of blue, sorry, that runs towards here on the back of the middle section too. So maybe these two sections makes it kind of look a little bit less crazy than what it actually does, because these colors are really bright and bold, but it doesn't look as bright and bold as it probably should do. I think it might even have a collection of all those colors featured on that kind of leaf there. I'm not too sure. Maybe it has all those colors actually featured, maybe. But in general, really nice shoe, really nice collaboration. I love what J-Tips does, so I can't wait for these to drop. And then on top of that, there's also this. This is courtesy of a Savior and Paper Planes collab. So I'm not too sure if this is a collaboration officially with J-Tips, or if this is a Savior and Paper Planes thing done in kind of honor of what J-Tips is doing. But there's also a matching tracksuit that will be probably dropping sometime in the future, and it looks hard. So to describe it, it's basically what you'd think of an 80s, early 90s tracksuit, zip tracksuit, shell suit, elasticated cuffs, elasticated hem, and it's got the big blocks of kind of, the big blocks, kind of rectangular shapes running across the middle of the jacket. And it features the blue and the pink, which you can obviously see featured on the shoe. That blue and pink there is featured mostly on there. So it's a matching tracksuit. And it reminds me of the old days of like being on Nike Talk and having, especially American guys, like they fucking love a good matchy McMatchy. They'll have like the new era to match the jacket to match the kicks and shit. So this kind of reminds me of that sort of era. So that's really cool to see the matchy McMatchy sweatsuit. And there's not enough tracksuits anyway dropped with sneakers nowadays. So I love to see this. So hopefully get an idea when this comes out. And as you can tell, with the girl that's modeling the picture as well, the shoes perfectly match the tracksuit without being overly matchy. Yes, the colors are still there, but I think the tracksuit you could probably wear with other shoes and not needing to wear the actual shoe itself. Oh, is that Paper Plane? Is this Savior thing? Paper Plane, that's Rock Nation, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, that's Jay-Z's thing. I just realized. So I think that might be like a Rock Nation thing, but regardless, it looks really fucking cool. I also love the fact that the tracksuit has no elasticated hem. I fucking detest and I hate elasticated hems on fucking tracksuit pants. They always have to be straight, in my opinion. Or at most, if you want to give somebody the option to fasten it, give me a fucking pull cord, a little bungee cord, but don't give me elasticated hems. I fucking hate them. If I get elasticated hems on my tracksuits, I always cut them off. I always fucking strip them out, take them out of there. I fucking hate elasticated hems. No one needs elasticated hems on their tracksuit pants. If you want to hem them up, give me an elasticated cord that I can fucking tie and scrunch them up if need be. But most of the time, they should be fucking flat and straight all the time, in my personal opinion. Anyway, tracksuit looks fucking amazing. Big up J-Tips, big up Saucony, big up Savior, big up Paper Planes. Hopefully they drop very, very, very soon. Next. First look at Salehe Bembury's PUMA collaboration. Salehe Bembury's got a shoe coming out with PUMA. So it looks like, in my opinion, this guy's like purposely testing himself to see, hey, how could I take brands that are somewhat dead, brands that are somewhat, you know, not well liked, brands that are not maybe someone's favorite, brands that need a breath of new life, and try to resuscitate them. He's trying. He's already done it with Crocs, you know. Now he's trying to do it with PUMA. And I have to be honest, I don't wear Pumas, right? I don't wear the last Pumas I've ever worn in my life might have been like Puma Clydes back in the days. But these are kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, these are kind of hard. And I think what he's done with them, why they're probably kind of hard, in my opinion, is that if you didn't know they were Puma, like if you took away the Puma stripe or whatever it's called on the side of the shoe, I think most people would like them. But I think because of the Puma stripe and because of the heavy Puma branding on the side of the shoe, maybe that's why people are kind of, you know, because I've seen some responses of people online, they don't really like what they see. But I think the shoe is kind of hard. I'm not going to lie. I think the shoe is really fucking hard. You just have to, again, remove the Puma stripe. Don't think of it as a Puma. Just think of it as a new shoe that you saw somewhere. Would you like them or not? And I personally would. Obviously, you got the, what do you call it? The iconic branding, which is, I forgot if this is like this is a topography thing, or if this is something to do with the fingerprint or something. I forgot. But these little squiggles on the midsole here, you know, as soon as you see that, you think of immediately Salehe Bembury. You got a nice big bold blue midsole here. It looks like a mixture of white on the outsole and this like champagne brown tip here on the front. Then of course you got the Puma logo also in that green, in a nice green color. It's kind of crackly, so I'm wondering if that represents, like, again, some sort of concrete, some sort of earth thing. I'm not really too sure, but it does kind of start off really blocked up here and then kind of slowly but surely disintegrates as it gets towards the back. And then you've got this nice mix on the top of what looks like suede with some sort of version of a knit or a mesh, if I'm not mistaken. And then you've got some nice laces here and the tongue. And I think the upper is made of a color of like a teal green, cream green colorway. So really nice, good earthy tones. I think this angle maybe is a little bit, you know, it maybe makes them lift up a little bit too much here at the front. Maybe it's a little bit too much of a banana foot going on there. But when it comes to Salehe Bembury shoes, it's good to see them in different angles. It's good to see them worn different ways, because I've already made the mistake of like ruling out one of the shoes that he made. And then I saw one in the lookbook and I was like, oh shit, that looks fucking hard. So this looks, for me, I personally like them. The only thing I don't like about them is the heavy branding. There's probably too much to, like, I think this might be either Puma or his name. But there's too many words on this, I feel like. Look, there's words here, there's words there. There's just too much branding on the shoe. But I'm not too sure if this is something that he done or something that Puma said, hey, this is a non-negotiable. If you want to make a shoe with us, you have to put the fucking branding on there. I think it's just too much branding and words, you know? It kind of messes it up for me personally. If you could get rid of some of this, some of that, and some of that, and just have the logo, maybe even, because again, the Puma logo is only on one side. It's only on the outside of the foot. It's not on the instep, which is quite nice to help it not look so clogged up and shit. But I still think there's too many words featured on it. But I do really like how they look. I'm wondering if this is going to be a performance thing or a lifestyle thing. I'm assuming it's gonna be lifestyle, because I don't think Salehe Bembury runs. I'm not too sure if he does. I know he hikes and shit. I don't know if he runs. So maybe these might just be a lifestyle slash, if you want to run with them, go ahead and run. But I do like what they look like. So this is courtesy of Hypebeast. It says, first look at Salehe Bembury and Puma, arriving after the Bembury revealed the forthcoming partnership back in July. Okay, cool. So the article says here, back in July, Bembury teased an imminent Puma partnership in an ambiguous post in which he reads, "Hold top secret Puma ideas folder" in front of a Puma logo plane. Oh, so this is what, okay, I remember that picture. It was like a black private jet in it that was branded with the Puma logo. Okay, cool. So this is the result of it. Sick. A few weeks later, the footwear imprint shared more details on the partnership, revealing that Bembury will be assisting the Puma Hoops team and contributing to a signature shoe and taking part in the athlete recruitment process. Really? So it's basketball. Assisting the Puma Hoops team, contributing to a signature shoe. So this is a basketball shoe. It's not even a running shoe. Really? Basketball? Huh. Is that what they mean by Puma Hoops, or is it something else? Okay. Now about 6 months later, Bembury has taken to Instagram to once again share the first images of what Puma era might look like, while the joints resemble the joints. Jesus Christ, hypebeast. While the joints resemble running shoes rather than basketball sneakers, the first Salehe Bembury pickups are dipped in one of Bembury's signature bright colorways. Its textured midsole takes bright blue hues and defined by its wavy patterning, while the upper is dominated by the lime green, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that's the shoe. There's more. Is there more images? Oh, they call there's him meeting some people at Puma. I guess it's him and Rocky. Where's the Rocky? Oh yeah, Rocky did release the Puma shoes. He released those distressed ones, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see, they look far better on his foot. That picture we saw earlier on, see, they look way better on his foot. They look way, way nicer than that picture we saw earlier on. I think that other angle of the picture wasn't that great. So he makes them look way better there. And then what else we have here? What other picture we see here in this slideshow? Let me zoom out a little bit. And also see the logo of him at the Puma offices. Okay, cool. This is a basketball shoe, really. No idea on the release date. I guess you have to wait and find out. But I didn't know that was a basketball shoe. Okay, interesting. Doesn't look very basketballish to me. You would always think, whenever you think nowadays basketball shoes are weird. Back in the day when I was kind of quote unquote into, not quote unquote, when I was kind of into fucking sneaker design, I remember one of the things people used to kind of, you know, really drum home at you was that, oh, you have to make sure you have enough like ankle support, ankle support, ankle support. So I wonder what's happened, what's changed, because I feel like there's more and more basketball shoes I see now that have zero ankle support. So I wonder if the ankle support comes from not the cut of the shoe, more so it comes from the sole and the grip. Maybe that's where the ankle support comes from. If you design the sole and the grip in a certain way, or maybe if you lower the foot in a low shoe, like if you have the, even though the midsole looks kind of high, if the actual sole of the foot sits here, technically your ankle is kind of protected because your foot is a bit lower into the ground. And if you lace it up in a certain way, maybe it helps to kind of keep your foot fastened. I don't know. But I feel like I see a distinct lack of high tops and mid tops designs. I feel like everyone that designs basketball shoes now designs like really low shoes. And they don't really support your ankles. So it's like, hold on, what happened to the whole ankle thing? Or are people just really good at basketball now? They don't break their ankles as much. I don't know. Either way, big up Salehe Bembury. Love to see it. Love to see it. And there's also this really cool picture that I think he shared on social media featuring his luggage that he took with him during Paris Fashion Week with a bunch of shoes that he was wearing during Paris Fashion Week, which is always annoying, isn't it? When you travel, especially the times that I've been out to my techno tourism haunts, one of the annoying and hardest things to do is to decide how many shoes you want to take. And I usually can't decide. And I have, you know, I'm embarrassed to say, when I've gone to my techno weekenders, my techno fucking little haunts during the weekend, from Friday to Monday, I'm embarrassed to say that I've sometimes taken 4 pairs of shoes, including the ones I'm wearing obviously to the airport, but I've sometimes taken 3 pairs of shoes in my checked luggage. And sometimes if I can't fit the 3, I'll fit the 2, and I'll put the other shoes inside my backpack that I put in the fucking overhead compartments. And then when I get there like an idiot, I only end up wearing 2 pairs anyway, you know. But I can't not have the options. But it's obviously harder for him if he's gallivanting around Fashion Week, taking pictures of street, you know, from street style pictures and shit. You always need to be dipped in fucking new shit. But this particular picture is pretty hard because all of these shoes are his collaborations. Every single shoe here he's designed. I don't know what this cheetah print shoe is. I don't know if this is a cheetah print shoe. I don't know. Is that an F? Oh no, that might be a Visvim FBT. Wow, is that a Visvim FBT? I think that might be a Visvim FBT or something that was inspired by that design. It looks like very that's a fucking classic shoe. That needs to come back. I wonder if Visvim even still make them. But yeah, so these collaborations he's made. The ones that I hate the most here are this. I forgot what this shoe is called. It's like a duck boot. This I think it's a Croc too. This duck boot that he made is fucking horrendous. I hate it so much. But I'm sure it's very functional. But the rest of the shoes are fucking amazing. The 1500 is great. This Croc too, I forgot the name of it, but it's really cool too. It's the one I initially hated, and now when I see the other pictures, I know They look so fucking hard. And look at the colorway too. This bright orange, this purple outsole midsole thing that looks like molten lava, you know, spewing all around it and shit. It looks so fucking cool. These actually look like Nickelodeon, innit? Looks like a Nickelodeon colorway sort of style thing. Then there's a running shoes that we mentioned earlier. Like I said before, too much branding and colors, too much branding and names here. You don't need to have all this logos everywhere and this words. And there's also another what's this collaboration? Who's this? I don't know what brand this is, what shoe this collaboration is. I don't remember seeing these ones. It says equipments on the side. I don't know what brand who he did these ones with, but the color is fucking hard. One thing that he loves, you can see, is definitely he loves a chunky sole. A lot of these shoes aren't really, the only shoe that looks like it's got like a, you know, not a chunky sole is this Dior croc here with the Matthew Williams flipping harnessing and shit. But everything else looks like it's got a really thick sole. But yeah, big up Salehe Bembury, man. One of the best sneaker designers out there. It's actually a good thing that he's not exclusive to anybody. I think there was a time where I was kind of fiending for him to be like, you know, take over as creative director at Crocs or New Balance. But I think it's better for us sneakerheads that he's, you know, freelance essentially and is able to work for different brands. And it's also good that he's not working for like a big Nike, like a brand like Nike, because these smaller brands, I think they understand that if Puma understands that if they let him design for Crocs, if they let him design for New Balance, it actually helps the Pumas. I think Nike don't understand that. Nike is still on that kind of old school thing of like, no, exclusivity. If you design for us, you can't design for anybody else type of nonsense. But really and truly, if you have a talented designer like him, you probably should let him design for other people. And that will allow you to the brand that you do your stuff with to kind of hit off a bit more, because, you know, people will be wanting more stuff from him. You know, that's what people want, especially sneakerheads. Sneakerheads that are fans of his just want more shoes that he makes. So the more shoes that he makes, the more they'll buy, regardless of the brand. They don't give a fuck. As long as he's designing them, they trust him, they know his taste level, they know his design ability, and they're going to wear them. So it's on, the onus is on the brand to allow him to work with other brands, even if they're competing, because it will come back around and help them sell shoes too. That's my opinion anyway. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion anyways. Moving on. Let's talk about Corteiz. Blood Clark Corteiz, brother. You have to talk about Corteiz because this new collection that's just dropped now, I guess you can call it fall winter 2025 or 2024, but essentially they drop whenever they want to drop, giving you some nice pieces here and there. And this drop is probably, again, one of my favorites. I think they always smash when it comes to winter stuff. Really good coats, really good long sleeves, really good hoodies, really good tracksuits, like just everything fucking brilliant. This first piece, the feature here, is a Corteiz. What would you call this? Would you call this a motorcycle top? Maybe it's a motorcycle, maybe it's a motocross top. It's got Corteiz logo, Run the World, all over the top of it. So it's got RTW, it's got the Corteiz Alcatraz logo, the Corteiz font or the Corteiz text logo, also the URL written on there, and on the sleeves it's got different Corteiz logos or brand names on the sleeves as well. It comes in this camo, and then on the front of the particular jersey or top, it also has this Italian flag right in the middle, and it also features the really cool, I like the logo by the way here on the side. It's like a Corteiz logo, but it's done in a way where it looks like the badge of a football club. So it's like CRTZ, but it's all kind of, you know, overlapped and intermingled inside each other. And it's kind of cut like a jersey, but when you zoom in a little bit, it's almost cut like an anorak a little bit. It's really strange. It's a really cool piece. And it's got raglan sleeves. It's got zip ties here on the edge, on the bottom. It's a really, really cool sleeve. So I wonder if this is what you call it, waterproof or something, or if this is like one of those like sweat tops that you would use when you would go in the gym, you know, and you want to sweat out and shit. But what I also like about it is that all the words on here, all the labels and brands, if I'm not mistaken, all the logos, sorry, are printed in a 3M sort of material. So if someone puts a flash on you, all the logos are gonna freaking bright, shiny, so are gonna shine super bright. So that's a pretty cool little thing that I'm not mad at that in the slightest. Then there's also a denim set here featured, classic denim set that you know and love from Corteiz. This looks more like a raw denim jacket and also jeans, and it also features what looks like the Corteiz logo that's been picked out. That's a really cool, I don't know how they did that. Maybe it's like a laser cut, maybe it's like with a laser, maybe they took this denim suit and they lasered the logo here, and that's where you get this nice, like, you know, it rips off the top layer of the indigo to reveal the underneath, so you get the logo there. It's a really cool effect. and they've done the same thing on the side of the legs of the trousers. And these will look amazing when you wear it in. This top and bottom will be super cool. So I really love the look of that. You've also got a really nice parka here with this amazing like arc shape on the middle, which I'm assuming is where there's different pockets. Probably there's probably 7 pockets hidden somewhere within here. This is really cool. I love how they do all this stuff in-house, by the way. Parkas, everything. They don't go and, you know, link up with a parka collaborator like a North Face or whatever to go and do this sort of stuff. They design all this stuff in-house. It's really fucking cool. So they have all these really unique shapes and silhouettes, and it's got a nice like faux fur hood there, and it zips up, I guess, right close to your nose and shit. And there's also this really cool half zip long sleeve, I guess you call it quarter zip cardigan type of thing as well, that I'm not mad at as well. My favorite piece in this is definitely this jacket here, this green jacket that also features a Corteiz Alcatraz logo on the back. But I just love the paneling. I love the paneling of this jacket. I love the shapes here. It's almost got this like circle design paneling. It's got slit zips on the side here that you can put your hands in. It's got more slip zip pockets here on the bottom here to put your hands in, and it's obviously got the classic cinch here at the bottom, which I think is sort of like you know, so something that I could kind of see from afar. Whenever I see a Corteiz jacket, I see this sort of like, you know, zip fastening bungee thing towards the end of the waistband, and it's also got this really nice grid pattern on the top. So I'm assuming it's all 3M, and then it's got this elite work thing, this elite work iconography branding here on one of the chests, and then the Corteiz logo on the back. The only thing I'd say I don't like too much about Corteiz, I feel like there's too much logos. That's the only little criticism I'd say about what they do. There's too much logos. Like, you got the logo here in the front, you got elite work, then you got the Alcatraz, you know, badge logo thing on the back again. But, you know, kids these days like that sort of shit, and it's mostly aimed at kids anyway, so they're gonna wrap this up, and it's still a hard jacket. But I feel like if you just got away with that, if that logo wasn't there, or, you know what I mean, I think it would look even harder. But still, doesn't matter, it still looks hard. And then the tracksuit, this tracksuit, boy, god damn, this tracksuit is fucking hard. Black, and it also features these panels that have a bit of red, a bit of, I guess, silver, and some green. I'm not too sure if this is tied into a sneaker collaboration. Maybe they're going to be dropping a shoe that might have some of these colors, or this is just a tracksuit you went to put out for the fun of it. But fuck, it's hard. And again, like I said, I'm not a fan of elasticated hems, but if you're going to give me elasticated hem, give me an exit. And the exit they give you with Corteiz is that they give you these slits here that are zip slits, so you can make the hem straight, so it can drop easier over a pair of Air Force One. So if you zip them up, you can wear them with TNs. If you zip them up, you can wear them with Air Force Ones. I love that. And it's also got a little Corteiz logo on there because they fucking love having the logo everywhere. So there's another logo here hidden there as well somewhere. Again, too much logos for me personally. Logos everywhere, but you know, tracksuit ting. Hopefully there's no logo on the back, but that tracksuit is fucking hard. There's also a nice knit top. You've got also a nice bomber jacket with a collar, scrunched up, I guess, seams here on the sleeves. It's a really nice effect as well. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. It kind of reminds me of a Scott jacket from back in the day. What else do we have here I want to show you? There's also a varsity jacket, Corteiz London on the back with a C. That's very, very fucking nice, right? To be honest, very preppy, almost type of a varsity jacket, very classic. It's almost, what is that? It's like a black body mostly. It looks like it's like felt, what's it called? Pile. I've got the effect when it's all bubbly on the surface is really nice, and it's got Corteiz, this snake emblem logo, and then London written there on the back, and then it's got RTW 18. I guess that's when it was founded. Run the World 18. Really fucking cool there. And then you got this tracksuit. Oh, this tracksuit is so good. Oh, this shell suit. Sorry, the shell suit. Wow. You've got this really amazing top. I guess you call it a rain jacket most likely. Where the sleeves are all covered in the Corteiz logo pattern here. Then you've got this really cool asymmetric zip. I really like the feature of the asymmetric zip because it kind of runs all the way down and almost follows a pocket. That'd have been really sick if they were able to sort of like make the zip run all the way down and follow the pocket towards the end there. And there's also these nice zip pockets here on the front. And I'm assuming the zip pockets under the armpit are probably pockets, but also double up as vents. So if you need some, you need some air, perspiration, you unzip these. Because I remember North Face jackets have the similar sort of thing. And there's also a matching pair of pants as well with elite work. This is so hard, man. Honestly, Corteiz are smashing it. They are doing so well lately, man. The stuff is getting better and better. Nice zip cardigans. The cardigans aren't really for me. Maybe this cardigan here that almost looks like a Ralph Lauren thing. That's pretty cool, to be honest. There's some sort of protester trying to shoot the person on the horse with Corteiz written down the bottom. Oh, look at this tracksuit. This is me all over with this overstitch. This olive green overstitch tracksuit is absolutely incredible. Pullover hoodie with the Corteiz logo in the middle. Corteiz logo towards the bottom here of the pockets there. I also like the fact that in their sweatsuits, they have zip pockets. This is a little detail, but if you've ever worn sweatsuits, you usually, for some reason, put a bunch of shit in your pocket. So it's nice to be able to zip up your trousers and be able to, you know, quickly run for the bus, run for the train, you know, run to fucking catch up a baddie and see if you can get the digits. I guess that's a nice little touch there, so I'm not mad at that in the slightest. And then a few more things here before we move on. We've also got a velour tracksuit here. Nice, a velour shell suit, I guess, or shell suit, or no, tracksuit, I guess you call it. A full zip up, a full zip top, and also some nice pants that go with it as well, in like that nice black. Is it? I think would you call it a velour? Yeah, that's definitely velour. That's really nice as well. You've also got a nice long sleeve and a t-shirt here featured with some good logo branding. You got a classic Corteiz Alcatraz tracksuit that I'm sure is gonna sell out. That's a classic piece, to be honest. A nice zip up hoodie with the zips that go both ways, and a nice heavy sweatpants, straight hem, no fucking ramping. I love how that looks. Oh, the cargo pants, I remember these. I'm not sure if it's the same ones, but these used to go out so quickly. Corteiz cargo pants back in the day, they were a thing. I love the shape of these cargo pants, I'm not gonna lie. The shape of the pockets, they're almost diagonal to a slant. There's a cool little money pouch, you know, little pocket here, maybe stash pocket, I guess you'd call it. I like the Corteiz logo here on the outside. It's kind of giving it a structure, construction, utilitarian sort of vibe. This sort of square logo on the patch of the pocket there, I'm not mad at in the slightest. So yeah, this looks really hard. And then of course, the best thing about Corteiz drops is the lookbooks. Everything looks harder when they put the product I just spoke about in the lookbooks, and you can see how it looks on the body and shit. Oh, look at that jacket, man. I need that jacket, man. I need that jacket. Look at that jacket. Oof. That green jacket is so fucking hard. Oh, he's also doing these because I'm sorry, I wear these type of hat. I wear like headbands mostly, but sometimes I'll put the headband and make it cover my head. So these kind of like scully tight, I don't know what you call these things, but I wear them as headbands. So I guess he's making some of these as well, because I think Clint wears a lot of these himself, so it makes sense why he's wearing them or making them. Hopefully they drop as well. Here's a picture of the tracksuit. Wow, look at the tracksuit with a pair of shocks. Oh, it looks hard. And I hate shocks as well, by the way. I fucking hate shocks. One of my most hated Nike shoes of yesteryears. I hate this model, but it looks fucking sick worn as it is. I don't know what these spots are, if this is rain from earlier or whatever, but this looks fucking sick. Yeah, that suit looks fucking hard. And then the varsity jacket is really cool as well. There's also the nice cardigan top there. Oh yeah, the olive green thing that I wanted is really cool as well. I love that. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. Not mad at that in the slightest. And then you've also got the top that I mentioned earlier. It looks like a motocross top. The tracksuit that I mentioned earlier. Oh, look at the shoes. Okay, so that's. I wonder if that's is that the collaboration they're gonna be putting out? Because those shoes match the tracksuit perfectly. I wonder if those shoes are the collaborations that are coming out. It's basically a shock if you can't see it. It's a Nike shock, but the upper's a bit different. Not sure if this is like a newer version of a shock. It probably is, but it looks amazing. Look at that 3M in the middle of the body. Oof, oof, cool. More knit. The velour suit also looks fucking hard. And then what else do we have here? We have the classic Alcatraz hoodie, which looks fucking sick, matched up with the fucking pony hair Hirachis that I missed out on, motherfuckers. But nice Alcatraz tracksuit. Yeah, that knit top that I mentioned earlier, that's a quarter zip, is really nice as well in that model. The bomber jacket also looks fucking hard there. And the jumper, or the knitwear shot, the sweater that I said I liked, it also looks really hard. That one that looks like a polo rip. And yeah, so all that stuff is dropping courtesy of Corteiz on Friday, which is today. 20 plus products, frayed denim, premium knitwear, light work, tracky, elite work, V2, cargos, buccal bomber, velour, H&P set, blah blah blah. order ship within 5 to 10 working days, register, So yeah, you can purchase it at crtz.xyz. So you know where they are. You know where they are. Okay, cool. Let's move on and talk about the last topic for today, which is the thumbnail. The last topic of the day is a thumbnail. This is to do with Ravens Justin Tucker. Now, I have no idea who Justin Tucker is. I'm not going to pretend I have any idea who Justin Tucker is. I learned his name only today. But I saw him all over the timeline. And I saw this headline. I thought, you know what? I have to talk about this. I have to cover it because this is a wild, wild story. So the headline captured the Baltimore Banner. Ravens Justin Tucker accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by 6 massage therapists. I read a tweet somewhere that said this guy, somebody put a tweet out, I think in December or something, that he had been banned from all the massage parlors in wherever the area is that his NFL team is based in. Like there's like a memo went out to all massage parlors to not take this guy's money, not take his business because he's a fucking pest and a creeper. And now obviously it's been revealed in exact detail what exactly he did. So let's read the article. Ravens kicker Justin Tucker engaged in inappropriate behavior at 4 high-end spas and wellness centers in the Baltimore region. According to 6 massage therapists, including exposing his genitals, brushing 2 of them with his exposed penis, and leaving what he believed to be ejaculate on the massage table after 3 of his treatments. Yo, this guy is wildin', bro. Wildin'. I'm assuming these spas and like these are not like rub and tugs from what I'm led to understand. They're not rub and tugs. These are like proper like wellness centers. They're not. If it's a rub and tug, it's a different story. But if it's a wellness place where you go to get like, you know, red light, whatever therapy, you go and sit in the sauna, you do this, you do that. This is not the kind of place to do that sort of stuff to it. Big up,
WSP mate, thoughts on Dior Men FW25. Do you think Kim Jones is out of Dior? Thoughts?
Oh yeah, big up Richie. Do I think Kim Jones is out of Dior? Probably not, man. I don't know. I haven't really looked too much into it, but I don't think so. If he's out of Dior, he's probably going to be on his terms. He might be tired because he's been, you know, kind of designing for, it feels like, what, 20 plus years at that kind of level. So if he decides to leave Dior, I think it'll be on his account, not because he's not doing well at Dior anymore. I know some people on fashion Twitter are a bit bored of what he does, but he's still at the high level. I think what I saw recently of that Dior show looked fucking beautiful. So yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon, to be fair. But I haven't done a review of the Dior show yet. But I definitely will do that in the next episode because I'll need to do a roundup of the Paris Men's Fashion Week anyway in general. But big up Richie, I appreciate you, brother. Several therapists said Tucker's behavior was so egregious that they ended his session early or refused to work on him again. And at 2 spas, management team said that they banned him from returning. After receiving a tip on January 9th, the Banner began investigating and spoke to 6 massage therapists who recounted troubling first-hand experiences with Tucker from 2012 to 2016. Jesus Christ. The women said that they had long wanted to tell their stories. The quote, "I've told people about this over the years, and they either act like it's hot gossip or a joke," said one therapist who worked with Tucker in 2016, "but it's really degrading." Attorneys for Tucker denied the allegations of inappropriate behavior, calling them speculative and impossible to prove. That's not a good way to defend somebody, right? Speculative and impossible to prove. You should just say categorically that did not happen. It's not true. Not it's speculative and impossible to prove. That's a weird defense. The attorneys Thomas H. Clare and Stephen J. Harrison of the firm Clare and Loke said Tucker had never been banned from the 2 spas in question. They also denied Tucker ever ejaculated at a spa. How do you know this to be sure? How do the lawyers know for sure that he hasn't ejaculated in spas? Mr. Tucker has never behaved inappropriately during a massage therapy session, and certainly never in the manner described by the Banner's reporting, the lawyer says. Any suggestion of the contrary is fictitious and utterly baseless claim. A Raven spokesperson says we take any allegation of the nature seriously and will continue to monitor the situation. The NFL said it will look into the matter. So he hasn't been suspended so far or anything. They're going to look into it. Tucker released a lengthy statement on X after the story was published denying the allegations, criticizing the Banner's reporting process. He says, "I have always made a conscious effort to be considerate and respectful of all the interactions with the community that I love so much." With the community? What community? The spa community? The rub and tug community? The massage community? What community, brother? It's devastating for me to learn that anyone would feel that I was offensive in any way. Rubbing your genitals on somebody and leaving ejaculate in places is the epitome of offensive, I feel like. There's no mistake in that. That's not something you do by mistake, you know? Anyway, I could be wrong. Some of the women that they encountered, Tucker, now 35, early in his career, before he established himself as NFL best kicker. After joining the team in 2012, Tucker quickly built a standout reputation on the field, kicking 2 fourth-quarter field goals in the Ravens' 34-31 win against San Francisco 49 in the Super Bowl. He cultivated an outside public persona, extolling his Catholic faith. Oh my God. Of course, it's the fucking, you know, it's the choir boy. It's Mr. Superman Christian, who is the one fucking bussing all over massage tables. Of course. That just makes so much sense. Filling the Baltimore Basilia with his classically trained bass baritone and staging dramatic proposals to his now wife on the roof of the Four Seasons. He's been a spokesperson for the Royal Farms convenience store chain since 2015, making one of Baltimore's more recognizable athletes. So he's one of the most recognizable people in Baltimore, and he's going to these wellness centers in that state, and he is busting all over the table thinking he's going to get away with it. How do people think that way? You play for one of the biggest teams in, like, I guess in the country. You're at the main team in that fucking state. Why would you think you could get away with this? Honestly, how? Most of the 6 women who shared first-hand accounts said that they had not known much of each other before being contacted by the banner. Yet they gave strikingly similar accounts of Tucker's behavior. The women asked to be identified by letter to protect their privacy, fearing retaliation from the Ravens organizational fans. 5 of the women said Tucker asked them to massage his pelvic region or inner thighs while he had an erection. They then said he repeatedly wiggled his pelvis to remove the sheets, which fully or partially exposed his genitals. He watches too much porn. 2 women said that Tucker brushed him with his exposed penis. 3 said when they returned to the treatment room after Tucker had left, they discovered a large wet spot on the massage table, which they strongly believed to be ejaculate. Oh, yay. They couldn't be for sure until they tested it or tasted it, but yikes. I wonder how common this is, though. This must be a common occurrence, isn't it, unfortunately? In any place where a woman touches a man, especially in a naked environment, this must be a common thing. No matter how professional, this must be a common occurrence that guys just go in there on like a kamikaze thing. Fuck it, I'm not going to come back here again. Maybe they travel to a place. They travel somewhere super far away from where they live. They go and do a madness and then just leave. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like a come and dash, if that makes any sense. Like a bus and dash. I swear that must be common. It must be so fucking gross. The women say that the incidences took place in 2012, Tucker's rookie season at the Ravens, to 2016, a year after he married his college sweetheart. A representative of the upscale local spa chain known Jazz said that Tucker had been immediately terminated as a client in 2014. Wow. So there's proof he has been terminated. This is what it says it. Jazz said they terminated him as a client in 2014 after a massage therapist reported an incident that allegedly occurred during a massage therapy session with Justin Tucker. The owners of the now closed Studio 921 on the Locust Point said through an attorney that they took immediate and decisive action to ban the individual from our business and services to ensure a safe environment for all. A lawyer for the spa said the owner told Tucker by phone that he could not return. Wow. That's so fucking gross. The massage therapists, many of whom were in their early 20s at the time, described the mix of emotions they felt treating Tucker, a high-profile professional. Exactly. A high-profile professional footballer whom the spa were proud to book. At Ohash in Pikesville, which was patronized by many members of the Ravens, the staff at times wore t-shirts that said "Purple and Black, we've got your back." Massage therapist said, yeah, he definitely got your back, bro. He's fucking trying to bust on your back. Jesus Christ. That must be so horrible. You get a booking, you realize this guy, right? You realize it's fucking Tucker, and then he pulls up and he's on some fucking creep shit. He's on some sex pest shit. He's on some weirdo shit. You're really happy to touch him because he's a fucking professional footballer, and you never know, if you do a good job with him, he might actually want you to be his personal one. He might get you a job at the fucking Ravens. You never know. You're just hyped to do it. And then he turns out to be a fucking creep. Awful. Several of the women reported that Tucker's inappropriate actions began slowly but subtly, but after he repeatedly attempted to expose his genitals, and in some cases seemingly positioned these hands to brush their thighs with his fingers, They concluded he was deliberately being inappropriate. God almighty. Yeah, I'd imagine massage therapists can tell the difference between you accidentally touching them and somebody trying to run a game, you know? They can tell straight away. We can tell if it's intentional or just an accident. This was intentional, said L, the therapist who said Tucker touched her waist with his naked and semi-erect penis during a massage at the Ohas location. Oh my God. The woman said that they took extra steps to keep Tucker covered after he repeatedly exposed himself. One said that she placed a heavy heating pad over his pelvis. Another I bet one of them put a fucking brick on his chest, didn't it? Fuck it. Let's just put a brick on top of this sheet. So if it moves, you know he's definitely trying to do a thing. Or just like handcuff him on here so he doesn't wiggle. Fuck, you know. Another described using one hand to keep him covered with the sheets while pressing his inner thigh with her other arm to make the massage less sensual. Tucker's lawyer said that it was unremarkable and not news that he might become exposed during a massage. Yo, his lawyers sound like creeps themselves, isn't it? It's unremarkable and not news that he might become exposed during a massage. That's not true, bro. I've had massages and I never exposed myself. You know, like that's not a common thing. That is very remarkable if you expose yourself, because they do cover you. Athletes often shift around due to the discomfort and accompanies their bodywork, and massage therapists themselves are the ones adjusting the covering. Jesus Christ, these lawyers, man. But the therapists were unequivocal in their belief that Tucker's behavior was unusual, inappropriate, and intentional. Roughly a decade after the allegations, the therapists say that they remain haunted by his actions. I can't watch sports anymore. I see his face everywhere, says Jay. After talking to the Banner E, contacted attorney Michael Belsky, a partner at the SBWD law firm who specializes in sexual abuse and harassment cases. Belsky said that he is now representing 4 massage therapists who have shared similar experiences about Tucker, including additional therapists who have not spoken. The allegations of exploitation that have come from the clients are voluminous, very similar and very troubling, said Belsky. Each of my clients has expressed profound, long-lasting impact as a result of these filings. Yo, he's cooked. He's fucking cooked. He's fucking cooked. He's fucking cooked. None of the women who spoke on the banner said that they took the allegations to law enforcement. Legal experts said that there were some criminal statutes that might have applied to the allegations if were proven: indecent exposure, probably battery, for some instances in which the genitals intentionally touched the therapist, but the statute of limitations has expired, and in any event, which cases are rarely prosecuted. One expert said a civil court case such as a claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress against Tucker could face a very high bar for success. Yeah, of course, but it's still going to happen. But I think even the process of it is going to ruin his reputation. That's a problem that he has. You don't want to be known as a guy that fucking exposes himself and touches your fucking dick on a fucking massage therapist, busts all over tables and shit. You don't want to be that guy. That sort of stuff will never leave you. So his reputation's already been damaged anyway. And if these accounts are to be believed, these are different massage therapists at different spas sharing the exact same similar stories. It seems like it's most likely true. So even if he doesn't get found guilty, the court of public opinion will still see him as a fucking goon. As a gooner. Depending on the outcome of any investigation, Tucker could be found in violation of NFL and team rules. The league's personal conduct policy prohibits behavior, undermines or puts at risk of integrity of NFL. And in 2022, Ravens coach John Harbaugh cited the team's zero tolerance policy towards domestic violence when asked about the Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson's suspension following an accusation of sexual misconduct. Jesus. At the Plainsville branch of Jazz, both E and L assigned to massage Tucker in 2014. E was 21, a newly licensed massage therapist, and about 7 months pregnant. Fucking hell, Tucker, bro. You're sexually abusing 7-month pregnant women now. Yo, this guy needs to be thrown in the bottom of jail. She said before the massage began, Tucker asked her to focus on his inner thigh muscles because they were tight from kicking. She left the room to allow him to undress and got under the seats. When she returned, Tucker had an erection, she said, which since it's not unusual for a man to briefly become erect during a massage, she said she ignored it and focused on his neck and shoulders. Following the standard protocol, she tightly wrapped the sheets around his genital area, technique called the diaper drape. Oh, what's that? Is that to make your erection go away? That's crazy. Diaper drape. Oh no, maybe it's just a way to kind of cover your genital area. Okay, cool. I'm chatting shit. It's a diaper drape, so I'm assuming it's just an area. It's just a technique to cover your genitals so that they can actually touch your inner thigh properly. But Tucker wriggled his pelvis under the sheets halfway, revealing his genitals. He was continuously moving his hips, moving his penis, wiggling it, making it bounce, undoing the drapes. Yo, man thought he's Shakira getting massaged. Fucking hell, relax those hips, bro. Flustered, he asked Tucker to turn onto his stomach so that she could work on his back. But as the end of the appointment neared, he asked her to return to his inner thigh. Tucker was still erect, he said, which she found discomforting. She again secured him in a sheet, stared at the wall while massaging his inner thigh. When she looked down a few minutes later, she recalled, the sheets were gone and he was fully exposed. Feeling certain that it was not an accident, he ended the massage, left the room, and told a supervisor, she recalled. 4 other Ojos employees confirmed to the Banner that she told them the account around the time of the incident. It felt premeditated. It made me feel even more gross because I was pregnant. Exactly. Fucking hell. Pest, boy. Absolute pest. Another therapist, Elle, said that she also assigned to massage Tucker later in 2014 at the same spa and encountered the similar behavior. Tucker asked her to focus above the groin and wiggled his body to make the sheet fall away, she shared. Throughout the whole session, he kept readjusting to make his penis come out. Elle said that Tucker appeared to purposely position his hand so that it touched her leg. Oh, so I guess he's putting it to the side or something, innit? So when she walks by, he's like, oh my god, man. This guy has got problems. It wouldn't surprise me if he's done something really fucking crazy. This is fucking wild. Towards the end of the appointment, Tucker readjusted the sheets so that his penis came out and touched Elle's arm. At that point, she said that she ended the session. Elle said that she informed the supervisor that she did not want to work on Tucker ever again. The Banner was unable to contact the supervisor, but 4 other Ojos employees confirmed Banner that Elle had told them the incident that happened at the time. At the third spa, now closed Healing Point in Lutherville, Tucker ground his penis into the massage table while laying down, then repeatedly tried to expose his genitals when face up, according to R, a massage therapist who worked with him there in 2016. He continued to move and the draping, so I realized he was being creepy. Because Tucker was a celebrity, R said she was afraid to end the massage early. Instead, she switched the techniques, used one hand to pull the sheets torn and pin him to the bed while she massaged his thighs. That's fucking wild. And massage therapists have techniques to kind of circumnavigate creepy dudes instead of just ending it. That's so wild, man. They still need the money, you know? They can't just end the session. They have to find out a way to kind of do it without you fucking freaking out. The owner of Healing Point declined to comment, saying that business was a healthcare facility and must follow the same privacy guidelines of other governments and doctors and hospitals. 2 therapists reported that Tucker also acted inappropriately with them in the how do you say that? Apothecary wellness in 2012-2013 during the first 2 seasons of the Ravens. One of the therapists, Jay, recalled that Tucker arrived at his appointment in the Ravens gear from head to toe. He made it a point to tell me I'm a kicker. I play for the Ravens. Tucker asked Jay to focus on his gluteal muscles and inner thighs. I tucked him in like a baby, but he kept repositioning himself. So I would brush against his exposed penis, she said, prompting to stop the massage his thighs and move to the area of his body. That's not a normal massage behavior. I did hundreds of massages and I never had someone else do that. Jesus Christ. After the massage, Jay said she found a huge wet spot that she believed to be a jacket in the middle of the massage table. Jay said she told the receptionist and senior staff members that she never wanted to massage Tucker again. She said that outside of what she believes occurred to Tucker, she had never had another client leave that at what appeared to be jacket on the table. So she served hundreds of people, and the only person that did it was a famous football kicker. God damn. I left the massage feeling dirty. She said, noting that she also was upset at the experience that she stopped doing massages for several months. He knows we have no power and can't do anything. Tucker's attorney says that having a body work performed at NFL kicker thighs was typical and not essential. Wild case. I'm eager to see what happens with him in the end. Someone like this, someone as powerful, someone as rich, will probably end up kind of getting away with it. the NFL don't want to ban him until I guess he gets criminally charged or something crazy happens. So it seems like he might be getting away with this, but it's already quite embarrassing. So it probably will be something that'll follow him until the end of his career and rightfully ruin any type of future job opportunities he has going forward, because this is fucking insane, absolutely fucking insane. And considering how they kind of, you know, fuck up other black athletes' careers when they have similar instances, I hope they keep the same energy with this guy. I hope they keep the same energy, because this guy sounds sinister. He sounds fucking sinister, to say the least. He sounds sinister, to say the least. But again, what do I know? I'm just a simple man. Anyways, my friends, that's been it. That's been the Agostinho Zinga Show, episode number 867. A little short one today because I wanted to quickly jump onto the random show later on today. So thank you for tuning in today. I really do appreciate that. If it's your first time tuning into the show, you know what to do. Make sure you smash the like button down below. If you're watching this via YouTube, of course, subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated too. If you're listening to this via the podcast app, just leave me a 5-star review. That's all I ask. Leave me a 5-star review, or at least share the episode with some friends. Take a clip of it, put it on your social medias. All that good stuff will be greatly appreciated. But you know, if you're not, I understand. Also, at the bottom or underneath my voice right now, you should be hearing my tune of the day. My tune of the day, for those of you who care, is by the Horrors, a great band called the Horrors. I actually went to uni in St. Martin's with one of the lead singers, actually for the Horrors back in the day. So it's great to hear them having a new album that's going to be dropping sometime in March. One of the singles to come from this album is called Lotus Eater, so definitely check that out. That'll be my tune of the day from the Horrors, called Lotus Eater. That'll be my tune of the day. If you're watching via the YouTube, unfortunately I can't play it for you, but definitely check out the Horrors, Lotus Eater. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care. Peace. Bye.